your lower rectus abs. And that's the only way to develop the alleged and elusive 8-pack. Otherwise, you just have an ordinary 6-pack. Hey, this is Max Wettstein with MaxWettsteinFitness.com. Again, you are in my backyard. We've come a long way since the last resistance band video. I now have a full-on outdoor gym, but we're back with resistance bands. Resistance bands have come a long way, and my knowledge of exercises with these bands has come a long way. I'm also incorporating this Core Energy Fitness wall mounting system, so you don't have to worry about ripping the doorknobs off in your house anymore. With this, it's become even more versatile. Like, I've just added about 50 new exercises to my regimen. Now, the resistance band is still a great standalone piece of equipment to take with you traveling or take anywhere. It's also still great for warming up and for getting a pump. But today I'm going to show you how it's also an effective workout tool in its own right, especially with the addition of all these multiple bands and this new wall mounting system. Then you can lean back and do more like a mid-row. This is all about form and function and toning. Obviously this isn't going to build a bunch of leg mass, but it sure feels good on the knees. And it's allowing me to do a full squat all the way down to the floor. And right now I'm starting to get a lactic acid burn. Take it right into one leg squats. Now you're getting a good load. But it's really helping with balance. This is definitely going to build strength and muscle mass. Talk about perfect form. There's no way I could maintain such proper form without this resistant band. That's good. This might be my new favorite. Really crunch and squeeze at the bottom of the eccentric movement. Stretch at the top. Glutes, hamstrings. Available now on the market are super strong, super safe. You can place incredible amounts of force on them, and they're not going to break. And now it's more like decline press. Or I don't have suspension straps, but you can use the resistance band like a suspension strap and do dynamic stretching or suspension strap type exercises. Now also, I've gotten a couple questions in this last video. One was, can you build muscle mass with these bands? Can you find a band out there that's heavy enough to provide enough load and enough resistance to build muscle mass? Well, that may have been a good question before, and a lot of guys were snapping bands, but now these bands have come so far, you can get up to 150 pounds of resistance now. And you vary the resistance by moving in or by moving out, or change the resistance simply by hooking it up and then wrapping the resistance band down here. Now I have even more resistance. Again, this is all made possible by this new Hammerhead Safety Hook H2 system made by Core Energy Fitness Systems. So I had to plug that product. You can see how I can get rear delts too. Take it right into a bent over row. Now again, the back is obviously a large muscle group, very strong, so you don't have to, but it helps to have multiple strength resistance bands. So I'm going to go to a little heavier one for the rowing movement. You can see how quick that change out is. And now I don't have to worry about ripping any doorknobs off the doors of my house. It's plenty for me to get the job done. Upright rows. You really squeeze at the top. You throw in that isometric flex, squeeze at the top of the contraction, of the concentric movement. The great thing about these resistance bands too is you can just vary the angle to hit all different heads of the deltoid. It's also almost impossible to get injured because you're controlling the resistance. You're controlling the speed of the movement. I think I'm showing you right now it's a workout in and of itself. However, it's a great way to warm up. You virtually don't have to warm up before beginning a resistance band exercise. But it's also a great way to get a pump at the end of a normal free weight workout. Or if you're just getting a pump to prep for a photo shoot or what have you. This is about a band that's 75 pounds of resistance. What does that mean? I'm not sure exactly. It's a dynamic resistance that changes and varies with the length of the resistance tube. Obviously, the longer it's stretched, the more resistance, and when it's back to its normal size, the resistance decreases, which is also kind of neat because when I'm extended, the weight, the resistance is less, and the more I contract, the heavier the load becomes. That's also going to help prevent injury. Swiss ball allows you to hyperextend safely. Hyperextend while comfortably supporting your lumbar spine. And when you get that extra stretch, it really helps target your lower abs, your lower rectus abs. And that's the only way to develop the alleged and elusive 8-pack. Otherwise, you just have an ordinary 6-pack. Serratus anterior muscles, your intercostals, and even your rectus abs. Love the resistance band for triceps. I'm going to use my other hand as the anchor and do one-arm isolations. There's so many different ways to anchor these bands and change their length and vary their resistance with this new Hammerhead Safety Hook system. So that's one of the heads. Here's a way to get the long head of the tricep. You have to have arms extended overhead. I don't really do a whole lot of isolation exercises like this. As you know, I'm more into full body functional fitness movements, but I gotta tell you, this feels really good on the triceps. So yeah, here's another angle for bicep curls. Get more of a stretch at the bottom. But really why I'm standing this way is to show the overhead military press. Okay, so even though I've added multiple bands with multiple levels of resistance and the wall mounting Core Energy Fitness H2 system, I still want you to take away that the resistance band is the most simple and versatile training tool around, especially when you have to travel. So even though I'm getting kind of elaborate here with a wall mounted hook system and all these bands and even the Swiss ball, when it comes down to it, if you can only bring one thing, just grab this resistance band and you're good to go. You really only need one, and you can make do, not only for a warm-up or for getting pumped up, but for a workout in its own right.